like, share, subscribe. Shouts out to the Lions Den community. And don't y'all forget to subscribe to the podcast show. Link will be pinned in the top of the chat.
Just name the channel who could bang with us. I'll prove that you are smoking dust. GTV Media is top notch in this game, y'all. You failures only have your self to blame, y'all. Cricket TV and a weapons make you suckers cry. Why don't you close your channel, crawl into a hole and die? Shout out to those who love our movement, no, we'll never flop until you get your mouth on LVBC. We are the underground outfit, y'all. We built this whole thing by ourselves, no in y'all. Independence start with self-preservation. If you can't take care of self, then how can you build a nation, y'all? Yup, we got that merch for the ladies and yes, we even got that merch for the babies and we got appliances and everything that you will need. We got some banging songs that make anemic haters bleed.
All right, man. So we're going to get right back into it, man. Last day of 2024, and Tony Buzbee is standing on business, bro. Last day of 2024, and Tony Buzbee is standing on business, y'all. And salute to everybody who's already in 2025. Salute to all of y'all. Blessings, love, honor, respect. Press 2 in the comment section if y'all can hear me. Let me get a mic check real quick. Make sure y'all can hear me, man. I'm going to let y'all know what's going on, and I'm going to get on out of here because I got to watch the game and then go enjoy my night. So press 2 if y'all can hear me in the comments, man. I'm finna let y'all know what Tony Buzbee just did, man. On the last goddamn day. Y'all can hear me? Yeah, y'all smash the like button, too, as y'all come on. The like button is free. And salute to the people who donated to the last stream. Peachy Brown, and I forget who else it was. Somebody else. Peachy Brown and somebody else donated. Salute to whoever that was. Oh, Bradley Payne. Salute to both of y'all for the donations to the Cash App. If y'all want to donate to the Cash App or PayPal, the link pinned at the top of the comments. Let's get into it. Tony Buzbee just came out and just went in. So in that new filing, y'all see right there on y'all screen, where Tony Buzbee just set it off today. Ladies and gentlemen, Tony Buzbee in a brand new filing against Jay-Z and Jay-Z's attorney, Alex Spiro, to the judge, says, Your Honor, I write on behalf, and this is involving that case that we all know that's going on right now. He says, I write on behalf of plaintiff Jane Doe in response to defendant Sean Carter's letter dated December the 30th, 2024, docket number 56, pursuant to which defendant requests leave to file a motion pursuant to Federal Rule of Civil Procedure 12B-6 to dismiss the plaintiff's first amended complaint. Defendant states his intention to move for dismissal on the grounds that Doe cannot pursue claim under the New York City Victims Gender Motivated Violence Protection Act, NYC Administration Code 101101, says that because the GMVA, which is a Gender Motivated Violence Act, does not have retroactive effect. However, neither the Second Circuit nor the New York Court of Appeals has endorsed this reading of the GMVA. In support of this argument, the defendant, Jay-Z, cites a trial court order decided on an unopposed record, which is merely persuasive authority. See Lewis versus Nenderhoff, 2023, right? Adams versus Jenkins, 2005 as well, right? Defendant's argument, meaning Jay-Z's argument, as to the Gender Motivated Violence Prevention Act is unpersuasive as it is contrary to the law's primary intention to make it easier for victims of gender-motivated violence to seek civil remedies in court, not, as defendant would have it, make it harder. New York City passed the Gender Motivated Violence Protection Act in light of the void left by the Supreme Court's decision in the United States versus Morrison, NYC Administration Code 8902. Morrison struck down the federal right of action for victims of gender motivated violence under the Violence Against Women Act, right? Holding that Congress lacked the authority under the Commerce Clause or the 14th Amendment to pass such a remedy. The Supreme Court, however, urged local governments to provide a remedy to women like Morrison who had been brutally R-worded, as no civilized system of justice could fail to provide her a remedy. New York City rallied to that call and passed the Gender Motivated Violence Protection Act, right? See Cadiz Jones versus Zombretti, 2002. The city council recognized that the gender motivated violence is widespread throughout the United States, and that 3 out of 4 women will be the victim of a violent crime sometime during their lives. NYC Admin Code 8902, the council also concluded that victims of gender motivated violence frequently face a climate of condensation, right? Of condescension, my bad, indifference, and hostility in the court system. The council sought, therefore, to create a private right of action for victims of gender motivated violence to resolve the difficulty that victims face in seeking court remedies by providing an officially sanctioned and legitimate cause of action for seeking redress for injuries resulting from gender motivated violence, NYC Administration Code 8902. It is fundamental that interpreting a statute, the court should attempt to effectuate the intent of the legislator. Cadiz Jones, 2002, right? At number 1, holding based on statutory text and history that the Gender Motivated Violence Act was intended to apply retroactively. The council intended the Gender Motivated Violence Protection Act to make it easier for victims of gender motivated violence to seek court remedies. And it intended the same when it passed the 2022 amendment to the law. See City Council HRG testimony at 41, testimony in support of the Act's passage describing sexual abuse in 1993, right? Similarly, the defendant, Sean Carter, also intends to seek dismissal on the grounds that any viable GMV law claim is time barred under New York's Child Victims Act, which preempts plaintiff's GMV law claim. However, this court in Doe versus Gooding found that local anti-discrimination laws are generally not preempted by state law in New York. 2022 U.S. District Lexus 68607. Moreover, in Doe versus Black, this court rejected the very same argument that Sean Carter's lawyer makes here. 2024 U.S. District Lexus 175929. Finally, Jay-Z intends to seek dismissal on the grounds that the conduct alleged in the FAC could not have occurred in New York City based on the plaintiff's description of the residence in question, combined with public records confirms that any such residence was located outside of New York City. As Jay-Z seeks to rely on evidence outside of the pleading, which would transform a motion to dismiss to one for summary judgment, as a discovery is not yet underway. It is respectfully submitted that the defendant's proposed motion is procedurally improper and should be denied. See Shi Ming Shen versus A Taste of Mayo, Inc., 2021. In light of the foregoing, plaintiff respectfully requests the court to deny the defendant's request to file a motion to dismiss. Can you call this ether or what? Tony Buzbee just ether Jay-Z's lawyer again. Tony Buzbee just said, look, in this very court, you guys have made decisions like this against what Jay-Z and his lawyers are saying right now. In this very court. In this very court. And Tony Buzbee says this. This is how I know Tony Buzbee got an ace up his sleeve. Tony Buzbee says, how can they ask for the case to be dismissed when it hasn't even went to discovery yet? Hasn't even went to discovery yet. JMJ says, everything he posts can't be breaking news. No, everything I post is not breaking news, but this is breaking news. Here's the report right there, you jackass. Now I'm going to block you. Now, on the way out, tell your mother I said, hey, now get your bitch ass out of my channel. It's breaking news right there. It just came off the wire right now, fool. Don't you know I get all the paperwork when it come down, dog? Don't you know that? I get all the paperwork when it come down, sucker. Now, I know you mad, ho, but I get all the paperwork. This just came out right now. Whatever you want, I got it. It's so hard to be a child. Everyone at Rose, you got the ball, baby. This is your game. Get your ass out of here. The hell is wrong with you, man? You mad because your boy getting ethered? Again? He getting ethered again, man. Tony Buzbee said today in the filing, Tony Buzbee said, and I repeat myself again, how can his lawyer ask for a case and talk about the case should be thrown out because there's no parking lot like this when we haven't even went to discovery yet? Ether! He said they ain't even seen the evidence. Let me say this again. Tony Buzbee just said in the writing, how can Jay-Z's lawyer ask for a case to be dismissed talking about some, hey, man, there ain't no residents like that in New York when they haven't even seen our evidence yet? You know what that means? That means that Tony Buzbee got some evidence. Like I told you, chumps. He not fitting to say J-A-Y I-Flow 6 name unless he coming with some type of evidence. Didn't I tell y'all stop playing with them boys down there in Texas? They say that they do everything bigger in Texas. Now, I tried to tell you suckers, but y'all didn't want to listen. Let me repeat that last line again for those in the back, right? Let me repeat this last line again in this new filing that just came out right now, right? The last filing that just came out right now, just now, 30 minutes ago, this just came out from Tony Buzbee, right? It's breaking news. It says, finally, the defendant, Sean Carter, intends to seek dismissal on the grounds that the conduct alleged, right, and the FAC could not have occurred in New York City. Remember, his lawyer said, hey, this couldn't have occurred in New York City. It had to occur outside of New York City. That's what Jay-Z's lawyer just said yesterday, right? Tony Buzbee will clap back for his mental anguish. He says, finally, Jay-Z intends to seek dismissal on the grounds that the conduct alleged in the FAC could not have occurred in New York City based on the plaintiff's description of the residence in question, combined with public records, confirms that any such residence was located outside of New York City. Now let's get to the next line. As Jay-Z seeks to rely on evidence outside of the pleadings, which would transform a motion to dismiss to one for summary judgment, and as discovery is not yet underway. Checkmate. He says Jay-Z's trying to get this case dismissed on evidence that haven't even been presented in court yet. They ain't even had discovery yet. You haven't even had discovery of the evidence, right? How can you come and dismiss the case when there ain't even no discovery? You haven't seen our evidence yet. Checkmate. I told y'all, man, this dude, y'all think, that's why I be trying to tell y'all, use y'all brains, bro. And I'm going to win every time. Because I told y'all this. This man is 20 steps ahead of these dudes, right? 20 steps ahead. Because what's going to happen is, it's got to go through discovery. Then guess what's going to happen? Deposition. You know what a deposition is? That is when Tony Buzbee gets to question Sean Carter under the penalty of perjury. That means that Tony Buzbee gets to question Jay-Z, right? Under a legal deposition, right? Where Jay-Z has to answer those questions that Tony Buzbee has, right? He gets to depose, right? See, these are the things y'all don't know about that I'm trying to tell y'all about. So now when the judge reconvenes, that she already mad at Jay-Z's lawyer. Jay-Z's lawyer don't came back with another filing. And Tony Buzbee don't came back and slapped that down and said, in this very court, you guys have already denied and rejected the same type of motions that Jay-Z's lawyer is trying to file right now. To the person who said, where's the video evidence they were supposed to release on the 31st? Sir, that evidence was released to Diddy's team, Sean Combs. This is not Sean Carter. This is Sean Combs that evidence was released to. The video evidence is released to Sean Combs' legal team, not to the public, Janet Jackass. Slip counter. You just got hit in your face. You didn't slip and you didn't counter, nigga. Period. You got hit dead in your face. So stop trolling, nigga. What happens is, nigga, is the evidence that the feds had seized in that case, now that it has all been sifted through and they've had discovery, now it gets sent to Diddy's lawyers and Diddy. So they get sent a copy of those videos today. Sir, you want to keep running your mouth and talking with me and looking like a damn fool on here? Or you want me to keep cooking your sorry ass 3 the hard way? Like I said before, Tony Buzbee is going to want to get Jay-Z in a deposition. That is what I think Jay-Z and his team do not want. And that is a big thing. Jay-Z wants to get this case thrown out because if he doesn't, he will have to get deposed. And when you get deposed, Tony Buzbee gets to ask all those questions. And now Jay-Z is on the record because he has to answer those questions. And now when he answers those questions, he has to then go to court if the case is not thrown out. And now all those things that Jay-Z said in that deposition can now be used against him in a court of law. And the sad part is that Tony Buzbee has not yet had to present his evidence to Jay-Z or Jay-Z's team because they're not in court yet. Right? You understand what I'm saying? This is what happens when you're uneducated and you come talking ish to a big dog who studies and understands what the hell he's talking about. Okay? Little man. So, like I said, you didn't slip, nor did you counter. You just got hit in your face and knocked out ice cold. Point blank period. And all you can hear is Floyd Mayweather's daddy coming around saying, you don't know shit about boxing, boy. Straight like that, brother. So, like I said before, it's easy to cook you bums. Let me read that line again. It says, as Jay-Z seeks to rely on evidence outside of the pleadings, meaning they haven't even brought their evidence forward yet. You haven't seen Tony Buzbee bring the evidence forward yet. They bring it in court. How can you argue about evidence when they bring the evidence that they have in court? So now, right, I'm going to tell you what I think Tony Buzbee wants to do. What I think Tony Buzbee wanted to do. I think Tony Buzbee wanted to get Jay-Z on the record, which he did. Because Tony Buzbee knew that coming with this type of heat against Jay-Z, Jay-Z was going to have a strong response. And it was going to be a public one. And so He wanted to get Jay-Z talking in the public to get his statements on the public to where he could then, in a court of law, use those statements that were made publicly against Jay-Z. So what happened was Jay-Z got out of his normal self and talked a lot, more than we've ever heard him talk because of the seriousness of the nature, right? And these are the different things that y'all have to look out for. And Renee, say Ticket, because Ticket never doubted Tony Buzbee. I never doubted Tony Buzbee. I knew what he was on the whole time. He never lost in this situation. Tony Buzbee always had the upper hand on these dudes. He always was 10 steps ahead of these dudes, and he let them trip up on themselves. They thought they had a round-the-mill way lawyer that was just coming in here and didn't do his homework. That man did not come in here saying this man's name and thinking it was going to be playtime. This is his biggest case. You best believe he's going to be on his A game. And to the person who said that interview screwed her, no, it did not. Because if the interview screwed her, the case would have been thrown out. It wasn't. It wasn't. B. Evers. So keep trolling. If the interview screwed the girl, the judge would have thrown the case out. And you said the interview evidence is there, so why wasn't the case thrown out then? Janet Jackass, you're a liar. And you know there's a nice place for you. And it starts with an H and ends with an L. Like I said before, if Tony Buzbee didn't know what he was doing, this case would have already been thrown out. Boy, the case wasn't thrown out, right? The case was not thrown out. And Tony Buzbee knew it wasn't going to get thrown out. And he did exactly what he wanted to do, which is put that girl in the interview, put her out there in the public, and show that there's transparency from his side. And not only that, show you guys, like I said for the 1,000th time, that she is a special needs person, which then should have instantly made everybody think. But they didn't think because they don't use their minds, and a mind is a terrible thing to waste. The first thing they should have thought was is her father special needs as well? Because her father says he don't remember, but don't nobody know if her father is special needs or not, because that has not been revealed yet. Yet. See? And just like she could forget some details and forget a few things, maybe her father could too. But I know you don't think on my level. That's why you ain't on my level. You understand what I'm saying? And this capping ass person right here says, where's the superseding indictment you promised? Oh, did you not hear the court? Did you not hear the court? Amanda Kravitz, did you not hear the court with your capping ass? The court said that they're still working on this superseding indictment. Remember the judge asked them about that in the last court hearing? The judge asked them about that in the last court hearing. He said, hey, what's up with the superseding indictment? They said, oh yeah, we're still working on it right now. See, you know what that means, that they're still working on it? That means that there's so many witnesses. There's going to be so many pages in that superseding indictment. I told you, I got a bet it's going to be over 200 pages in that superseding indictment, and it's going to be a whole realm of people that they go scoop up. You thought 2024 was something? 2025 is going to be a movie. You better believe that. So, you keep asking for a superseding indictment. you keep asking for something. You're going to get what you're asking for, and you're going to get more than what you bargained for in that superseding indictment. And I'm trying to tell you, the longer that superseding indictment takes, the more evidence they're racking up, the more people they're rounding up, the bigger that whole thing is going to be. You understand what I'm saying? They taking their time with that superseding indictment, letting that thing burn slow. So they have until May to drop that superseding indictment, which they will. Diddy and his lawyers know it's coming. They're talking about it behind closed doors, in my opinion. So, once again, mere bag of shells. And Tony Buzbee says here that they haven't even went to discovery in his evidence, meaning he hasn't even displayed the evidence yet. But as I told y'all what Tony Buzbee did, he was smart. Tony Buzbee knew this case wasn't getting thrown out. And not only did he know this case wasn't getting thrown out, Tony Buzbee, in my opinion, he really wants to depose Jay-Z. What do I mean? What does ticket mean? Ticket means that Tony Buzbee really wants to get Jay-Z in a room to where he can question him. Jay-Z does not want to do it, but he will have to. You know how I know he will have to? They made Donald Trump do the deposition. You don't think they'll make Jay-Z do it? Donald Trump was a former president of the United States of America, and they deposed him. And Donald Trump lost that case. You don't think they'll depose Jay-Z? A rapper? Psh, shit. And when Tony Buzbee, in this one, these stakes are higher because you don't know what questions Tony Buzbee's going to want to ask him. And that deposition is recorded. And it will be made live to the public at some point in time, in my opinion, if it happens. Right? This is what y'all forget about. Because, see, now, once I can ask you any question I want to ask you about this case, now it gets real ugly. It gets real ugly. You don't have to believe me. You don't have to believe me. You don't need to believe me about that. But I'm telling you right now, you better believe. And there's nothing they can do to stop Tony Buzbee, if this case goes on, from deposing Jay-Z. There's nothing they can do to stop about it if this case goes on. Right? And I'm telling y'all this right now. You don't want to believe me? That's cool. Right? But I'm going to tell everybody that's watching this video something right now. You remember? Do you remember the deposition of number 45 on October the 19th, 2022? Do you not remember that? When they deposed in that case that he lost this case where they deposed Donald J. Trump. Did you forget about that? You think that they won't put a rapper and make him come answer questions? And you have to answer those questions. If you don't remember, Trump answered the questions. But if you don't remember that, well, guess what I'll do for y'all today? I'll refresh your memory. Because you see that on your screen right there, ladies and gentlemen? That is when number 45 got deposed. It had to sit under the penalty of perjury in a case he lost. He lost this case. For sexual abuse, he lost this case. And his motion to overturn it was denied yesterday. Tony Buzbee wants to get Jay-Z in the room.
1990s, would it be fair to call you or to characterize you as a real estate tycoon?
Yeah.
Trump Tower on Fifth Avenue, that was completed in 1983?
Around that time, yes.
And when did you move into your penthouse apartment there?
Maybe a year later.
And that remained your primary residence until you were elected president, correct?
That's right.
And where's Trump Tower located? I haven't seen numbers.
57th and 5th.
And at some point, you became the owner of the Plaza Hotel in New York, correct?
Yes.
And where's the Plaza Hotel located?
59th off 5th Avenue.
And for how long were you the owner, withdrawn? During what years were you the owner of the Plaza Hotel?
I don't know these. About 5 years.
Did you know when it began, when you bought it?
In the early 90s.
Okay. Now,
Now, to that person in the comment section that says that we're a fool if we don't believe that you the fool, because what they'll do is what they're doing to Rudy Giuliani right now. Shamal, whatever your name is, you must not know anything about the law. See, the law doesn't care what position you're in, who you are. The law doesn't care what position you're in, who you are. And here's why I'm telling you this. They're trying to seize, they're currently in the act of trying to seize all of Rudy Giuliani's, they're trying to get Rudy Giuliani's watches and stuff. They've already forced Rudy Giuliani to give up that apartment. That apartment he got, yeah, you got to get that up. They're going after personal assets of Giuliani's now. Right? See, this is why people like you got to just use your brains, man. You're not using your brains. So what they'll do is they'll come and seize your assets. That's what they'll do. If you refuse to pay, they will seize your assets. That's what they will do. And you seeing it go on with the rapper of the game right now. They're trying to seize his house right now. Google it. Google it. So when you lose an appeal, which Trump just lost a federal appeal, and they upheld the ruling, what's going to happen is that if you don't pay, they're going to seize it from you. Meaning seizing your assets. There's nothing you can do when they seize your assets, man. Right? You can try to fight it as long as you can. They're going to seize it. So use your brains, Jamala. The next time you come in here and talk with the big dog. You understand what I'm saying? We don't play little puppy games around here. This big dog talk, right? And these are facts. You understand what I'm saying? So again, and I'm going to say this again to you, that law doesn't duck anybody. Now, there's certain things that you can do in that position that you can help yourself. Because like I said before, like, look at the scumbag shit Joe Biden did. The man pardoned his own son. That was scumbag material. Joe Biden pardoned his own son. That's scumbag material, what he did. Scumbag material, what he did. You pardon your own son, right? When you got other people that's doing time, but you ain't pardoning them, they doing time for similar crimes. But you'll pardon your son. To where he don't have to serve punishment for a crime, which is disgusting, right? So, most deaf, ma'am, right? His son should be in jail, in prison, right goddamn on now, serving time. He did the crime, his ass did the time. He need to do the time, excuse me. And that's facts. And to the person who says, you think pardoning your kids is wrong, yeah, it's wrong when you're trying to uphold the goddamn law for everybody else. Yes, it's wrong, Sean Washington. Yes, it's wrong. Because if your kid commits a crime and you're trying to hold every other citizen up and you're supposed to be a leader of a country, then you can't make those concessions, sir. Then you don't need to be in a leadership position because your decision making is compromised. See, when you're in a leadership position, all that shit's supposed to go out the window. I don't care what you say you should let your kid rot. If your kid did the time, his ass should be in jail, just like everybody else you would agree to put in jail. That doesn't matter if it's your kid. Like I said before, Joe Biden's son ass should be behind bars, point blank period. There ain't no question about it. If you got a problem with that, I don't give a damn what you think. Like I said before, Joe Biden don't got a problem with other people with similar crimes being locked up in prison and doing time. So his son should be in prison doing his time for the crime he did. Point blank, period. How can you be a leader of men, but you want to lead different, some men different than other men? Nah, man. We don't play like that. We don't play like that. See, if you can't hold yourself accountable and responsible, how can't you hold everybody? How can you hold everybody else responsible? That's why they voted his ass out of the White House. Let's just keep it real. This is another reason why they voted his ass out and made him back down. This is why. This is another reason why. See? So how the hell you gonna have all these other people gotta follow the law, do all this other stuff? Your son break the law, but he ain't gotta do no time. He ain't gotta do no time. Make it make sense. Like I said, like I told you before, I'm on the side of truth. I don't care about no names. Period. I don't care about no names. A lot of y'all care about names. Like, share, subscribe, man. And salute to everybody that's watching this video, man. So that's what Buzbee wants to do. You better believe Buzbee is going to make sure this case keeps going. And he's cooking them in every single filing. Because Buzbee told y'all in the filing today that he hasn't even shown y'all the evidence. The evidence haven't been to discovery. He already showed y'all this. The evidence haven't even been to discovery. Right? So salute to everybody in the building that's watching this stream. Appreciate all of you guys that show love to the channel. Love, honor, and respect. And Buzbee just cooked these dudes again. Point blank, period. Y'all let me know what y'all think, man. It's easy work, man. I'll holler. I mean, holler back. All right, you guys. So we appreciate everybody that popped in, supported this video. Make sure that you guys shop our merch. We got that new A-Weapons merchandise right there below this video. All you got to do is look below. The links will be pinned at the top of the comment section as well to get the merch, to donate, support the channel, and subscribe to our podcast show. You'll see all those links pinned at the top of the comment section of this video. And we appreciate everybody that supports this channel and our networks. Also, that straight drop weight loss formula. Go to the website. You guys will see that. A link for that will be pinned at the top of the comment section as well. Go right there for all of your weight loss needs. Straight drop weight loss formula. We have a lot of testimonials on the website. You can go to www.str-8-drop.com and get you some of the weight loss formula today. Take your weight loss serious. Get in the gym, work out, exercise, and do what you got to do. Stay on point. We appreciate everybody that's been locked into this video. Again, all the links are pinned at the top of the comment section below. Salute to all of y'all. And again, we appreciate everybody who support what we doing over here.